I wish I would have known that I wanted to go travel. Like, I always kind of wanted to go, but like, I think until you just take that first leap and you go do it, like you feel like there's always more preparation to be done. Cheers. Cheers.
What's going on, guys? It's Pat Daley from TrueTransient.com. If you've been watching my channel for the last couple months, you know that I recently ended a journey canoeing from New York City to Georgia. I canoed about 800 miles. On that trip, I met a lot of people that were called liveaboards. They were called liveaboards. They lived on sailboats, usually couples. And I met one couple in particular, Tharon and Mary, living on the SV Tipsy Gypsy. I hung out with them. We actually took my canoe and put it on their sailboat, and I rode with them for about 30 miles. I originally intended for this video to be called How to Live on a Sailboat, and that's probably what I'll title it, but after editing it, I realized there's a lot of practical information just about long-term travel. Even if you don't want to live on a sailboat, I think you're going to really enjoy this. So without further ado, guys, enjoy the video with Tharon and Mary from the SV Tipsy Gypsy. Here with Tharon and Mary. And what, you guys are on the Tipsy Gypsy, right?
Yep.
Hell yeah. And you just started, well, since May.
A couple months ago, yeah.
So now you're full-time liveaboards, right?
Yep.
And you're doing work, right? Like,
yeah, I work from the boat.
Okay.
Every day.
From your computer every day.
Yep. I'm doing software development.
Okay.
For a company back home in Grand Rapids.
Nice. All right. So what was a big driving factor in going out and doing this? You know, just like.
Why did we come out here?
What are we
I asked
doing?
myself
Where
that
are we?
actually.
No, it's funny because like people often ask me like, why are you doing this trip? And then sometimes I just don't have a good answer for it. I'm just like,
why
just to
not?
do it.
Don't
You
have a
know?
good- why
You know,
not?
it's just like, yeah, exactly. And
Why
that's
not?
like all you have to say, really.
Well, I think we both have different reasons though too. Like I think my biggest thing was I just wanted to be able to travel. I just wanted to be able to travel easily and be able to still work along the way because that's how we can afford to do it. Otherwise, we'd have to wait another 10 years or something until we had the finances in order and being able to do it.
Right.
And I think that we have that part in common at least.
Definitely. I think that traveling full time is really amazing. I mean, you can't really do that any other way. You can do it in different ways, like you're doing.
No, totally.
But
Yeah, there's so many different
being
ways.
now with
this
internet,
comfortable has
yeah.
been really amazing.
I really like being on the water though too, so I think the sailboat is a convenient way to do it. You know, because you can anchor out, and for the most part, we do anchor, and that's free anywhere you go.
Yep.
We've got our house with us, so we can carry all of our stuff, and we like to be small living and minimal, but we didn't want to go like I'm living out of my backpack style.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a way of having like a mobile home, but
Yeah.
also be in the water and stuff.
Yep. And I think the other thing too is like with an RV, you can hit like a lot of places in the U.S., but you're basically constrained to the highways. And via water, we can get to any country we want effectively.
Yeah.
You know, and it's inexpensive because you're sailing. Like you're not paying for gas all the time for the most part. And even when you are, the boat is so efficient with the diesel. It's like we're burning 0.75 gallons an hour to run the diesel engine, and diesel's like $2 a gallon or something.
Yeah.
So it's real inexpensive.
Yeah, it's also more of like an outside. You're outside more when you're doing this, I guess, because if you're driving, you know, you're not in an RV where you're just
you're a lot more connected for sure on a sailboat.
Definitely. So Mary, did you have like a different reason?
That's the biggest reason. I mean, just to be able to travel more full time, and as our springtime kept on, we launched this boat in May. This is the first time we had ever sailed it. The first time we had from Mackinac City, and then
Michigan.
we live in Grand Rapids full time.
Okay.
So we had to do that trek down, and then from there we just kept on making more trips along the way, and we realized that I needed to quit my job so that we could do it.
Yeah, you liked it
consistently.
Cool.
So travel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you if you were to give advice to someone who wants to do the same thing, what would you say?
I think
learn how to sail.
Yeah. Learn how to sail.
I mean, we took lessons. A lot of people just kind of jump in and they think they can do it, but I think taking lessons and then just really be able to afford it, because that's something that we're able to do at the same time. A lot of people find hobbies along the way, but they might not be able to do it as long as what we're planning on doing. So that's been worthwhile too.
I think if you can get creative though too, like there are a lot of ways to make something happen.
Oh yeah.
And you don't
even
always...
port to port, like it doesn't even have to be like online, you know.
Right, yeah. Port to port, you could wash boats. You could you could be creative with your work. You know, sell your skills. We read some blogs where people like that's what they do. Like they find a marina, they help people with canvas work or waxing or fiberglass repair or whatever they can do. Or maybe you're a plumber or an electrician or whatever. Like people have need for that stuff. But I think too, like with the internet nowadays, there are so many ways that you can go about selling your skills. I think the hardest part though, if I had to give somebody advice, I'd just say like just go do it. Like go do it and find a way to make it happen, because you're like
reverse engineer it.
Yeah, reverse engineer it. Like that's basically the way I did it. Like I said, this is what we want to do. Now how do we get there and how do we do it? And like the first part was getting internet, so I researched like, okay, now how do I always have internet? And we basically were carrying AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon devices on the boat, so we could always have internet. And then the next part was like, now how do I convince my wife to quit her job? That one took a lot longer. But I started working on that one first because I knew it would take a long time.
Nice.
And then we were, so once we figured out the internet, we're like, all right, now let's find the boat, and then let's find, you know, so we just break it down into all these steps. Like this is what we need to do to make this happen, and then make it happen. And I think the other part too is that don't look at it as one end goal. You've really got to break it down into all the little steps, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed. Like, well, what are we going to do with the house? What do we do with the cars? What do we do with the pets? Like, how are we going to afford it? And if you look at it all as one big picture, it's intimidating and it's too hard to And if you
chunk it.
Yeah, and if you break everything down, it's a lot easier to deal with. And you just like, you know, once per week, like, hey, let's spend an hour. Like for a long time, we were doing weekly sailing or daily sailing meetings, and we'd like sit down for, like, let's sit down for a half an hour.
How are we going to make this possible?
How are we going to do this thing? And just talk about ideas and make it happen.
Nice. Sick. And you guys got pets with you, right?
Give us
a call.
You guys got 2 dogs, so pets, if you got
he's
pets.
Hiding under there,
yeah, he's been under here.
He's so cuddly.
What's up, dude?
That was it, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel. Thanks to Tharon and Mary for having me on the boat, letting me stay on their boat, and for chatting. If you like sailing, you'll probably like their channel. Go over to SV Tipsy Gypsy on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description so you can watch their adventures. I think they're in the Bahamas right now, which is pretty awesome. Well, that was it, guys. Peace out. Thumbs up. See ya.